And it's not often that you get that kind of partnership in life.
Oh. So when I learned a little bit more about Cersie's story, I wanted to interview her about that because I just felt like it needed to be shared with the world. And and so she came on my YouTube channel, and then afterwards, do you want to talk about the blog or?
Yeah, and then afterwards, I got this is after she had done posted the video, and everything went well with the interview on her YouTube channel. And then I got an email from Gigi, and I remember being on the phone with my sister, and it said, "Hey, I really liked the interview that you did, but I was wondering if you could actually, because in the interview I talked about actually doing the Daniel fast myself and how it changed my life in particular." And so she was intrigued by that, and she said, "Do you think you could write? Do you know someone?" Sorry, you said, "Do you know someone?" Let's clarify. She didn't ask me directly. She said, "Do you know anyone who could write the Daniel fast article?" And I was like, "Yeah, I could write it." But she said, "Did you know someone?" So I was thinking, was she looking for someone? Anyway,
I was secretly wanting her to write it, but right. I didn't want to. I didn't know her well enough to just come out and ask her that. Yeah. So I was just being very subtle.
Yeah. So I was on my phone. I was like, I could write the article. So my sister's like, "Yeah, type her back and tell her you could write the article." So I remember my sister was on the phone with me, and so I said, "Yeah, I could do the article." And then I sent it back to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she sent me the article, the blog post. Mm-hmm. I published it, sent it out to all my subscribers. And I remember very vividly, I was on my bicycle at home, my bike trainer, working out. And I was just thumbing, I was on my phone, just kind of thumbing through my website. And I opened up the blog post, and I just was reading it while I was riding on the bike. And I said, this would make a really good program. Like, this could make something that could nudge people into the direction of reversing that chronic disease, the obesity, type 2 diabetes, and so forth. And so I emailed her. I said, "Hey, Sersie, do you want to create a program, like a course and like a group and all this?" And she responded, you responded
right away.
Right away.
Because the backstory to Gigi even asking me that is that I have been kind of unfolding with this Daniel fast thing for a few years. And when I had some issues that was going on, and I actually put the Daniel fast down, but I was actually trying to make it into something to bring to churches, and because I felt like there was something there, it transformed my life so much that I felt like it was something that I wanted to advocate for or help churches do, and I couldn't figure it out. And so I kind of I said, "God, I don't know what to do with the Daniel fast. I've been trying to do it with the churches, and I wasn't getting much traction." And so I kind of just let it. I said, "God, if you want me to do something with the Daniel fast, you're going to have to figure it out, because I'm not getting a lot of traction in the church." And so I kind of just laid it down. So when she emailed me that, it was almost like it was an answered prayer to all the back years. I'm talking about a few years back, to me kind of grappling with this whole Daniel fast thing, and me knowing that God wanted me to do something with it to help people, but I just couldn't figure it out. And so when she said it, I was like, and instantly I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
I knew it in my spirit instantly when she said it. I said, this is what I've been praying for. This is the answer. This is it. And I just said, yes, I'll do it.
Yeah. So after that, we just got on the phone or got on Zoom. And we just started meeting weekly.
We started that Tuesday. You said, "Okay, do you want to you sent me a collab thing and said, what about Tuesdays at 4? And we have been meeting Tuesdays at 4 ever since.
Yeah.
And literally created a program out of that. And then we actually, in our minds, when we were creating the program, Daniel Fast usually starts in January. So this was about June, and we were saying, let's create this program that we could launch for January. It's perfect timing for Daniel Fast starting, and we were dead set on our agenda of starting it in January. But it's interesting that God took us in another way, because we did the 4-day challenge just to wet the waters on this on the Daniel fast. And then after the 4-day challenge, a lot of people kept asking, well, where do I go from here?
Right. I want to continue. I don't want to stop now.
Exactly. And so we were like, we have to finish this course for them now.
Right.
And so we really went in real high gear, put the metal to the pedal, and we week by week created this robust 4-week program, and we launched the pilot right then and there for the 4-day challenge.
Yeah, that was August.
And that was
2020.
August. In our minds, we were thinking December, but God's like, okay, this is not your agenda, this is mine. You're going to do this in August. And we
Right.
launched it in August, and since then have done at least 3 or 4 rounds of the Daniel Fasta Bridge to Healthy Living, and this is where we're at. Now we're here in Atlanta meeting together. We've never met each other. This was all online together. So it's amazing how things happen.
Yeah. We, I mean, it's been over a year since we started this.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we've met face to face.
Yes.
And it's just, it's unbelievable. Like how much we've accomplished, like how much we've done
in that short time.
Just, in just a little over a year. Because
at first we were thinking, are we doing enough? Really just praying about it. But then when we kind of braced back, we were like, we had so many women go through the course. We developed the Prayer for Your Health journal. We have danielsplate.com with the recipe site. And we're like, God is really doing something in this space, that there are so many women of faith that are really underutilizing their power of using their faith for their health.
Right. Yeah. And we've got women who have seen tremendous results. Like already we've got testimonials. We've got women who have transformed their lives since we started this. Yes. And that's the most rewarding part for me, is because, and then also I'm hearing now, just a year later, the spouses, I mean, some of them were by default, right? Yeah. They were getting healthy by default because the women were the ones, changing what they fed the family. But then you've got, other households where now, the husband's seeing the results and they're just like, okay, I think I might be open to it. And so it's just exciting to see how this is like spreading, you know. So.
And so now, a year and a half later, is it a year and a half?
It's not even a year and a half.
It's like a year and a month. We are still just as passionate as we were when we first started it. And we are, we really believe that God wants people healthy. And this is an answer to so much that's going on. I think a lot of times we don't realize how our health is tied to our purpose. And by getting healthy, by doing the Daniel fast, by getting spiritually aligned with your physical self, it's going to change a lot of women's lives.
Yeah. And all the people that are around that woman and who they influence.
Her children, her husband.
Yep. Coworkers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Another question. How hard was it putting all this together and not being able to meet, like putting all this together virtually because of the distance between you?
You know what? It wasn't hard because I was already, because of COVID-19, you were already in this Zoom reality. It was this alternate reality that you just got slipped into because of this whole pandemic. And actually, I think because it wasn't about meeting, it wasn't about, hey, I got to fly here, fly there. We actually got real laser focus because it was strictly online. Yeah. So I honestly believe that this program was such a time as this for in a pandemic. It happened that way. It was almost like it was meant to be, because we would have never crossed paths. We would have never been able to do what we were doing. You're all the way in Washington State. I'm all the way in Georgia. Had we not had this technology, had we not been even settled in your career, things were shutting down a bit enough to even focus on it. So I think it actually helped us to really kickstart things, I think.
Yeah. And I think also because we were so philosophically like aligned, like
even down to the oil.
It was weird.
Even down to the oil.
I know.
I had a lot of
everybody argues about oil, but we weren't. We were just on the same page.
Exactly. Exactly. Just the way we ate, where we saw it going, and not only that. To be honest, this part is a little emotional, but just it's not often that you work with people who are just a beautiful human being.
No.
You know what I mean? And you work with a lot of people, but they're good people, but it's almost like God brought me this beautiful person in my life who's loving, caring, has integrity, everything that you could imagine. And it's not often that you get that kind of partnership in life.
Oh,
No, but seriously, even just to be aligned, just in those things, because sometimes those things could interfere with partnerships,
That's
and it's
true.
just not there.
Yeah.
So I really think this was a God connection.
Yeah.
And for the people that's on the fence about joining the Daniel fast,
Yeah.
what would you tell them?
Get off the fence.
Get off the fence. You have nothing to
Yeah.
lose, and you have so much to gain.
Get off the fence, because the fence is what's keeping you from health, wealth, spiritual and mental clarity, reversing your chronic illness, creating a new legacy for your family. All of that is on the other side of the fence. So it's like you got to take that leap. And like Gigi says, you don't have anything to lose but everything to gain. And we're in tough times, right now with the pandemic. We can't sit on the fence. The fence sitting days, I think, are over. It's now that we got to say, you know what, we got to stand up for our health now. If not now, then when?
Right.